Daily grind, 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 grind. I only want to make it to. I don't want to tell you that I had enough. It might sound crazy, but it's daily grind. Doggy grind. Bye, bye, bye. Welcome to the daily grind. My dog was singing. Deadpool was dancing at home if you've seen the movie. Welcome to the daily grind and happy Wednesday. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. It's Wednesdays. I got one of the two bucks with me. The other buck will be joining us shortly. How are you, Rusty? You good, brother?
I'm good, man. It's hump day. We're officially halfway through the week today. It's on the downhill from here, and I cannot wait, man. Excited to be here this morning and talk a little sports before I go to my real job. This one's much more fun.
This is way more fun. I have real jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Down on real jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to jump right into it today. Well, actually, we're not. Before we get into what I had on the show, you and I and Uncle Buck shared a little video that seems to be making a rounds of one Zach Edey and John Morant practicing together.
I think I was sitting down last night because I was unwell when he sent that. I was just like, oh my God.
Man, I didn't get him till a little bit later, and then I was like, what's all the fuss about? And then I was just, my eyes were just like,
yeah, dude. Straight up, just like Ja and Edey lifting weights together, Ja working on a post-entry pass, working on pick and roll. Dude, I am already making plans for that parade on Beale Street. Just know I'm going to be absolutely noodled on Beale Street when we're marching the Larry O'Brien down to the Forum, man. I cannot wait.
Man, the intensity of that video was I was just like, man, it's halfway through August, and y'all are already balls to the wall playing like this. It's awesome.
Them dudes are hungry, man. They hungry, as we say here in the South. That revenge tour for John Morant is going to be something of lore. Like, I cannot wait to see how that plays out. Like, you give him a weapon like Zach Edey with that big body that can set those thunderous picks, and just, oh my gosh, like, whew, what in the world, man? I am not ready for this. And I don't think the NBA is either, for much different reasons, man. Let's go.
I agree. I think the league is going to be I don't want to say in for it. Makes it sound like they're going to be in for it. I just think they're going to be surprised that the work that these guys are putting in, specifically Ja, I love Ja because it's like this dude. You want to talk about a dude that keeps the receipts and keeps all the receipts and is like, he wants to prove the doubters wrong, like so desperately wants to prove everybody wrong. And I think this is going to be the season where it just blows it out of the water.
You know, he went after our own beloved Daniel Greer, so he reads all the tweets, he reads all of them, sees everything, always has that massive chip on his shoulder. Edey seems like the same type that's going to have that massive chip on his shoulder. I picked up my season pack yesterday. We're going to a bunch of games this fall. Cannot wait. I've already got tickets to opening night. I bought those live on the air last week when the schedule dropped here on the Daily Grind.
You did.
And I cannot wait to go, man. I'm super stoked. October 26th. Can I get here soon enough?
I'm going to look. I'm going to sit down. I've been kind of busy. Tomorrow I'm going to sit down. I'm going to find the schedule. I'm going to be like, okay, where do we want to go? I'm going to just figure that out. Which let's kind of shift into the schedule. Schedule's been released. That's been all the talk about all of it. Oh, it's happening. Uh-oh. Do you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I think there's a book here. Hey! What up? Uncle Buck. Hey, brother.
Listen, I can get this out of the way. I'm not even using it. You wouldn't believe this, but my computer could not find my camera that is located on my computer. And so
I had the same issue last week, man. We have old Macs. We got them at the same time. So we need new ones.
So of course, because I never update my computer, I restart it to try to find the camera, and I have been watching the little line go across the screen like 8 different times. And so sorry, but I'm here.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're here. I want to hear your thoughts on the video that you sent us. I know we had some I don't want to say not safe for work. We had some choice words for each other that were a little.
Well, it was just a little piece of advice is all I gave. Like if once you watch that video, if it doesn't go down for 4 hours, contact your physician. And I stand by that advice, because everything is theoretical. When he's drafted, it's all theory. Like Yeah, Zach Edey should be able to finish a lot of lines. Zach Edey should be able to do this. It should be a perfect fit. But that's like the first thing you've actually seen of them one-on-one together. And so, it was exciting. And, I always try to stay measured as well because John Miranda is not going to post his misses, on his own Instagram page. So, but it was exciting to see just that they've like met each other and like are working together. It's fun. It looks like they were in Dallas at SMU. So I'm sure Bain will be there at some point too. If they're in that area.
Yeah, that's probably why. And just watching like that pick and roll game, and I know it's dummies and I know it's guys that aren't NBA players, but like I could just see that being an absolute wrecking ball in the West next year. 7'4" Zach Edey who can finish at the rim. Ja, who is a prolific passer. He doesn't get a lot of credit for it, but he's a good passer. Like, watch out. OKC, watch out.
Watch out. Can you imagine if they were posting videos of their like misses, like these awesome wind-up dunks that just hit the back of the rim and bounce back? If that's what they were posting, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be the most. Halliburton would probably do that, considering he's the one that's for the people the most.
He's like, check it out, guys. I can miss too. Check out my TikTok. Is that what kids do?
Yeah.
We're just gonna jump right into it now. Now we got Uncle Buck with us. We're gonna go through the schedule. We know Rusty just bought tickets. I'm buying tickets for the schedule. I'm gonna buy tickets this week. There's a lot of good games. I think we all three said hammer the over on this season. I just want to go game by game and figure out if we can figure out what the results are going to be.
Yeah.
See if we disagree. See if we agree. Let's do this. Let's do 4 or 5 game slate. So we open the season up with Utah, at Houston, and then Orlando and Chicago at home. Those are the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah. I think off the rip, I think it's a disappointment if you're not 3-1 in the first 4 games.
Agreed.
You should be 4. I mean, ideally, you're like should be 4-0. I think you're better than all 4 of those teams. However, it is an 82-game season, and there's a little bit of that's baseball in a long season like this. So you take it with your lumps, and you look at it. If you look at it in clumps like that, yeah, coming out of that, I'd love to be 3-1. Although I should probably be 4-0.
I would say 4-0. Based on those 4 teams, we're better than them at every position. None of them really pose a threat. Orlando, maybe.
But that's the home opener.
So the place.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Houston would be the only other one that could possibly usurp our early season run, but I'm saying 4-0.
I like that too. Let's say 4-0. And then the next 5, I think we continue that. We got Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn, and the Lakers.
At worst, you're 2-2. You beat Brooklyn twice, and say you lose the middle 2 to 2, good teams in the East. But we had Milwaukee's number last year. We beat them on national TV without Ja, without Dez, barely had Tripp. That was the GG's coming out party right for the All-Star game. I'm going to say maybe homerism, but 3-1 is very, very likely.
Yeah, that the Milwaukee game's on TNT and it's on Halloween. I think they win that. Like you said, I think they got Milwaukee. I think Philly's the only game they might lose that one.
Taylor Jenkins' teams always play good against Milwaukee.
Yes.
Last year you beat them with like 4 dudes playing going up into the All-Star break. So, now Budenholzer's not there anymore. So maybe Doc Rivers installs a whole new system this offseason that Taylor Jenkins is not intimately familiar with, but then again, it's also Doc Rivers. So,
Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
So, that's 8-1. Let's say 8-1. No, that math. 7-1 in the first 8 games. Then you got Lakers, Washington, Portland, Lakers. Is it a homer to think we go 4-0?
No. I think maybe you split just so we're not being too much of homers. Split it with the Lakers. You win at home, you lose at LA, but you absolutely just curb stomp Washington and Portland. Like it's just not even close. So we'll say 3-1 there as well.
Yep. Let's say there he is. We
got back in action.
So let's say 3-1 there. So what is that? That's math.
We're now 10-2. I'm keeping up the tally marks over here.
That's why you're number 1. That's why I put you in the center today. You're number 1. Okay, and then we got next is Golden State, 2 Denver games, and Philly. This is where it might start to get a little tough.
That's a run.
That might be 1-3. I mean, you've got
1-3.
I think you beat Golden State.
What Rusty's dealing with right now is he's got us at 10-2.
Yeah,
and he's like, we're gonna make this
bring it back down
run,
to the
it'd be 14-2. He's like, nah, we've got to lose some.
We got to lose some.
He started so hard out the gate that he's like, I got to rein it back.
I mean, looking at the schedule, am I wrong? Looking at the schedule, am I wrong?
No.
So you think we win one Denver game? Is that what you think?
I think we win one Denver game. We never play really well at Golden State, even on a down year. I think we beat one of the Denver games. And then Philly, man, like I hate to give them too much credit. You know what? I retract that. No. I'm saying 2-2. We beat Philly. We beat Denver once. We lose one of the Denver games, and we lose to Golden State. 2-2?
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Which is probably good because then you look at the next four, and then it's like Chicago, Portland, Detroit, New Orleans. And it should be 3-1
at worst.
3-1 at worst. At worst, 3-1.
We'll say 3-1 just to be fair. 1, 2, 3, and 1. So we're currently sitting at 15-5 going into the month of December.
Which 15-5, and we're going to have probably the best record in the West, if not the whole NBA.
Exactly. Heading into December, 15-5.
Like our schedule sets it up. Like we have probably a little bit of a homer, but like. So far, our schedule, we hadn't hit any kind of like teeth outside of that one small run with Denver, bookended by Golden State and Philly.
Yep. Which the next four games, the December starts out pretty rough. It's Pacers, Dallas, Sacramento, Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is maybe you could say 1-3 here.
This also starts this part of the NBA Cup. That's where we got the Dallas.
Oh yeah, the NBA Cup gets in here. That's right.
Because we just started. New Orleans is our first one on the 29th, and then Dallas at Dallas on the 3rd. This is the first like grind that we've got because it's Indy at home, back to Dallas, back home, out to Boston, where we never win at Boston. So that's probably a loss there.
Yeah, I mean,
we
never win at Boston.
Game at?
It's at home.
That's why I think we can win that one since it's at home.
I think we can beat the Pacers at home too.
Yeah, we should.
And they want to win. I'd say 2-2 because let's just say they win. Let's say they beat, I don't know, Sacramento and Boston. Let's say Dallas and Sacramento. Let's say the Pacers and Boston beat them. Let's say that.
Sure, that's 2-2. That's fair.
Then we've got Washington, Golden State, the Hawks, and the Clippers. Man, we got a nice schedule this year.
That's 4-0 right there.
That's 4-0, baby.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is just how it's set up off of back-to-backs and stuff like that. But it comes out the gate pretty easy.
I mean, because this is Golden State at home at Atlanta, who is they're just completely. I'm not worried about Atlanta. The Clippers come to. That's it.
That was my
Clippers. And Toronto, like the Clippers come to Memphis. That's 4-0, man. I don't see us losing any of those games.
I think we sweep the Warriors this year. I'll put that on record.
There you go.
I mean, you're like worried about Steph. Like you've got enough guys that you can throw at Steph now, and I'm not worried about the rest.
You're not worried about the slow-mo and
make
revenge
Steph.
game?
No. I love them. If they wanted to switch locker rooms, I'd be happy. But I think you got enough you can throw at Steph to make him inefficient.
Yeah, so we're 4-0 there. So we're currently sitting at 21-7.
21-7 heading into Christmas.
Yep.
So, hey, that's a good Christmas gift, right?
Oh my God, for 21-7 at Christmas, Mike, I am making reservations to be downtown for the parade.
Yep. So coming out of Christmas, that gives us Toronto, the Pelicans, the Thunder, and Phoenix to close the year out.
And that's tough because 3 of those 4 are on the road. We get Toronto at home, at New Orleans, at OKC, at Phoenix. That's 3 road games at the beginning of a 5-game road tilt.
Yeah, this this road tilt's tough. I think that we may close that road tilt. Do you think we lose all 3 of those, like the 3 road games?
I don't know. Ja plays so well in New Orleans. Like he's the mayor of New Orleans. He owns the Smoothie King Arena.
How many games? Any of those back-to-backs?
No, we've all got a day in between.
Toronto, New Orleans is back-to-back.
Oh, yeah. And then it's a day in between, travel day in between.
Yeah, I'd say we lose. I'd say New Orleans just because it's a back-to-back. But I think the first time you go into Oklahoma City, that may be the best environment we play into that point in the season. Like
that arena does not get near enough credit it deserves for how
Mhm.
raucous it is, and these teams see themselves as peers.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. This is, if there's any team that the Grizzlies see as their peer head to head, it is probably the Thunder. That's very, very
Right.
well said.
Mhm.
I'd say
2-2,
shock the world 3-1.
3-1.
There it is.
3-1. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't buy regular season Phoenix.
I don't, and again, I just don't like Ja plays so well at New Orleans, but maybe that's the loss on the back to back. But yeah, then the road trip continues, Luke.
Yep. Then we got Sacramento, Golden State, and then we got Dallas and Houston at home.
Mm-hmm. And that Sacramento Golden State game are on a back to back. We're at Sacramento, then at Golden State, home for Dallas, and then Houston 3 days later.
I would say that's a candidate for a everybody rest day at Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
To beat Golden State
and get you 3 days off going into Golden State. So that may be a schedule loss there. That's what I would do if I was looking to rest John some folks. And then because is that Golden State game a play-in tournament game?
No, this is after the cut. This is January 4th. It's not nationally televised as of yet, and it's at 7:30 Central. So let's go.
Yeah,
early game. No.
It is an early game. I like that. So what is it? You want to say 2-2, 3-1?
2-2. Let's be realistic. We'll say 2-2. I mean, I think we lose to Sacramento, beat Golden State, maybe lose to Dallas. At home.
Yeah,
2-2.
I like it. 2-2. All right, then we got Minnesota, Houston, the Spurs, and then two Spurs games. Not back to back. There's a day between them, but it's Minnesota all the way, all on the road.
With a day in between, that Minnesota game will be rowdy too. That'll be a loud environment. That'll be energy. That one could very well, especially if we're coming in at it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 6 and 10. If we're coming in 26 and 10 and Minnesota's having a good season, that game could be on
lost
ESPN.
all credibility.
Yeah, we have. We're like 30-2.
This is a Memphis Grizzlies podcast show, right? Like we reserve the right to be biased. All right.
Homers.
I think San Antonio is a real wild card for me. I don't like Chris Paul. We're known Chris Paul haters, but we do not diminish the impact he has as a point guard running a team. And him added in with Wemby, like, I mean, it's wide open. I mean, they could be awesome.
Yeah, I think we split with San Antonio. We win one, they win one. We probably rest some guys in the first one. Maybe the second one is nationally televised, and because the Houston game is set up to be on NBA TV, which, but I think either Minnesota or one of the San Antonio games, if we are good, to get flexed to national TV. I think it works. You're still 2-2. If you want to if we want to level the playing field, we could say 1-3. We beat Houston, but lose to Minnesota in both Spurs games. But I don't know that would happen.
I think 2-2 because I'd say they probably lose that Minnesota game because the next time they play Minnesota, which is later that week, is the MLK game, and they're going to win that.
Yeah, we're going to win that one.
We're going to win that one.
Yeah. So the next four will start with starting with MLK. You got versus Minnesota versus Charlotte at home. So Minnesota, Charlotte, New Orleans, and the Jazz, all four at home.
I hope. What if that's the game? What if that Minnesota game is where we launch those white throwback Vancouver jerseys on MLK Day, dude? I will lose my mind and a paycheck buying all of that Vancouver gear. I will be outside the forum when that team shop opens and just give it all every extra large you got. I'll take it.
No doubt. Like those jerseys are gonna be sick.
Oh my God, Christy.
I may be the guy that's got the jersey shorts combo rocking it to the game. Like
tilt with the reverse scratch on.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be decked out. You might think, who is this Make-A-Wish kid? And that's gonna be me.
Damn. That's him in full kilt, ready to go. I think, at worst you're 2-2. You've got you beat Minnesota. I really do too, man. Like,
because I think you said Houston and one other. No, you said Charlotte and Utah, right?
Yep, and Utah.
And those are both wins. And then I think we're going to win on MLK Day. So I'm going to say the floor is 3-1.
3-1. Next we got.
Watch out, Chicago.
Yeah. Next we got New York at New York, Houston at home. The Bucks and the Spurs. Any back two? There is a back-to-back here. The Spurs and Milwaukee are on a back-to-back.
At Milwaukee, home for San Antonio on that back-to-back two. That might be tough.
Yep.
This is the best. This is probably the game I would want to go to the most is when the Knicks come to town.
Well, this one's at New York though. This is the road game at New York.
Okay.
We get them later, but
I would still love to go watch that game.
Yeah, I was at the Knicks game last year, but it wasn't quite the same.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah. That's when Laravia twisted his ankle, and I was from me to this wall from Gigi at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we think here? Think two. This one might be. We might.
Hey, look.
Two.
Hey, here's where we're going to be real. We're going to say we're 1-3. This is our losing stretch. It's coming.
Yes.
We're going to beat Houston at home. Let's say we lose the other 3.
Love it. Then we'll have at Toronto, Oklahoma City at home, at Phoenix, at Clippers.
I love this Oklahoma City at home game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Oh, that's going to be electric.
Same. Yeah, that's
because that's the first time they come to FedEx Forum, right?
I'll be there for that one. Ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
I don't buy Toronto. I don't think they're good. So that's a win.
Clippers. I'm not buying the Clippers.
Nope.
Flip a coin on the OKC game. I believe that's truly 50-50. I mean, I think that's going to be an intense environment. Give it to us since we're the home team. But
you want to say
2-2?
2-2. Let's do 2-2. We got to start being nice first. Being a little more realistic.
Yeah, we got to come back down to earth here because we're on pace for quite a record.
Shoot. Next 4: Indiana, Orlando, Cleveland, and Phoenix. Indiana and Orlando is a back-to-back, both away.
That's tough.
That Orlando game be tough.
Especially because we'll probably rest if we play because we got 8 days between the Clippers and the Pacers, so everybody will play against the Pacers. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of guys
that's a trade
rested.
Deadline, right?
Yeah, that's the trade deadline. All-Star weekends, maybe.
Yep. You're right.
And then you play Orlando, and then 2 days later you play at Cleveland. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some resting happening in that Orlando game. So we say we lose that one. So we're 1-1. We got Cleveland and Phoenix. Cleveland's good.
Cleveland is
2-2.
It's at Cleveland, so 2-2.
You win one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-2. Next 4, you got New York at home. You got San Antonio at home, Atlanta at home, and OKC at home. 4 home games.
That's a good stretch right there.
Yep, no back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, one back-to-back because there's 28 days in February. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For a season ticket holder, that's the week you want to, make sure you've got all your good graces in with your spouse so you can catch all those.
Yeah, and our package contains that Knicks game and that Thunder game. So
that's a good stretch.
All right. Dibs on the Thunder game.
Yeah.
What is that?
So I mean
2-2?
2-2. Let's be real. We're trying to be more realistic. We'll say 2-2.
2-2.
What's our record right now? 45-7.
That puts us at 38-22.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
16 games over. Yeah. I like that.
Okay. I feel like we've caught back up.
Yeah.
We can put our Beale Street blue glasses back on.
Homer's back.
That's it.
Then we're gonna got. Then we wait.
We're gonna got. Let's go.
We're gonna got. Then we got Dallas, at New Orleans, Phoenix at home, Utah at home.
And both of those,
Phoenix 1,000 times.
Phoenix
Dallas and New Orleans game, both of those are on ESPN. It's a day in between, but both of those are right now on ESPN.
Yep. 2-2. I mean, 3-1.
Yeah.
2-2.
We beat Dallas. Dallas is for sure win. Again, Jaws the Mayor, New Orleans. I think we beat. We win at New Orleans, so we beat Utah. We win at New Orleans. At worst, we're 2-2.
Let's do it. 2-2. Then we've got Cleveland, Miami, Sacramento, and Portland. Cleveland and Miami is a back-to-back at home.
2 good Eastern Conference teams.
2 good Eastern Conference teams.
Give me both of those because I don't know what Miami's going through right now because I feel like we're on the sun setting on that Jimmy Butler era. And so I'm not really sure what that looks like right now.
And they
so
could be
Miami.
They could be sans Jimmy Butler after the trade deadline. There could be a big stink, and he could get moved, man.
That's absolutely possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they've been playing teams the last 2 years anyway, so it's not like they've been world beaters anyway.
Yeah.
And then we'll say we lose at Sacramento just because it's the first road game, and then we win Portland. So are we 3-1?
3-1. Let's say 3-1. Next 4, we got at the Clippers, at Utah, at OKC, and then Lakers at home. No back-to-backs here. Lakers, OKC, Utah, and Clippers. 2 and 2.
Utah's a win. Yeah.
Utah's a win. Clippers are a win.
A win. And we'll say the other 2 are toss-ups.
Let's do it. Yeah, 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Getting down the home stretch now. To close out March into April, we've got Boston at home, Golden State at home. At Miami, at Detroit.
We never beat Boston, it feels like. Boston is one of my games in my season pack too, so
that's a back-to-back.
Hopefully get that one. We never beat Boston, so we'll say we lose to Boston, but we beat Golden State at home.
Yep,
yeah.
I like it. And then
you win both road games,
like
at Miami, at Detroit.
Yep.
I don't know about Miami.
I don't Detroit.
We liable to come in a little wobbly.
A little wobbly.
I hope they don't spend the night before in Miami.
Yeah. Get them on a plane that night. Get them back to Memphis by April 2nd.
Get them out.
Yeah.
All right, the next 4. These are the last 4 games of the season. We'll have Charlotte at Charlotte, Minnesota at home. That's going to be 8:30 on TNT, and then we'll close the season out at Denver, and then Dallas at home.
Listen, it's a stretch run here. Everything you got is what is needed in the last 3 games of the season. I mean, I don't know for seeding wise, it's brutal to go through that. Yeah, because what are the odds if you're a top 4 seed like we all think that the Grizzlies will be, that you're not playing for seeding in those last 4 games? I mean, that's brutal. And so the fact that everything's on the line and you've got something to play for, some of those other teams may not. And may at this point of the year maybe phoning it in or resting for playoffs. So
I could see Denver and Dallas both going a bad direction and being checked out at this point. Like either of those teams could have a bad year. I think
I don't see that
Charlotte
for Dallas at all.
I mean, maybe.
At all.
I mean, you're right. They were a finals team last year, but sometimes those one-off final teams have a major slump the next year.
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, you think
at worst you're 2 and 2.
2 and 2. I think 2 and 2 is a safe bet to close that at worst.
And I think that's a success.
Yes, 100%. Where does that have us?
Honestly, I am proud of us. We are homers. Let there be no mistake that we are homers. But that puts us at 50 and 30 closing out the regular season, which I feel like is a very real possibility. A, given the schedule, B, given the talent.
That number doesn't add up.
50 and 32 is where we're at. 50 and 32. Sorry.
So
you're right.
That would
I forgot
put
these last 2 little tally marks.
50 and 32 would have put us tied with the Mavericks for the 5th seed in last year's Western Conference standings.
But you got to think Denver's going to probably be worse.
And that is the over. So it's 2.5 games over what Vegas has got us. So
love it. Love that.
I mean, I don't hate that. 50 and 32 feels realistic. I also feel like we could beat 52 and 30. And that puts you, what would 52 and 30 put us, Drew, if we had like a 2-game margin of error?
That put us in the 4 seed. The 4 seed last year was the Clippers at 51 and 31.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, if we finish in that neighborhood, I feel like that's still a success. We're in a great position, and we're coming off of an injury-riddled season. If you tell me we go from winning 28 games to winning 50 games, okay.
Yeah,
thanks.
Oh man, I'm proud of us.
Yeah, my hope for the season after having the injury-riddled season that we had last year is that we stay healthy, but we don't do it by load managing the crap out of this team. Like I do not want to see a bunch of DNP rest this year out of any of our superstar players. I don't like it, and I'm scared that's going to be the tendency, given the injury history of last year.
Mm-hmm. Man, I hope not. Because I'm with you. I want to see these guys go all out, full tilt the whole time. They need to play with that chip on their shoulder the whole season.
And then you get their legs underneath them for a deep playoff run.
Yes, 100%. That's no DMPs. No DMPs.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna take. I mean, I'm proud of us. We're homers, but not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
And it ended a lot more realistically than I thought. I think we started off like 17 and 5. So.
We were like 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 3-1, 3-1, 4-0. And they were like, wait a minute. Pump the brakes. But we brought it back down to earth. 50 to 32, 52-30, doable. Very, very doable. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to draft some stuff because it's draft day, not the movie. And we're actually drafting football today, y'all. I want to hear y'all's draft. I want to hear right after this break.
One of the questions as far as my writings for the Wizards was, what's going to happen with Tyus Jones? And I kind of was able to narrow it down. He had 3 teams that he was primarily looking at, and that were the Memphis Grizzlies, the Phoenix Suns, and the Atlanta Hawks. From my understanding, Memphis they offered him more money. Memphis offer was somewhere around $5 to $6 million, but they wouldn't have given him an opportunity to start. And I believe that was something that was really important for him.
I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but I don't think the Grizzlies actually made a serious run at Tyus Jones. And at that number, I don't even consider that serious. You know what I mean?
A lot of people in Memphis didn't really want to believe that the Grizzlies were interested in Tyus Jones. And I think from what I saw on the internet, a lot of that has to do with you guys' expectation of what Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be. The Memphis Grizzlies very much like Scottie Pippen Jr., but I'm also here to tell you they went out and tried to get a backup point guard.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Representing your country and winning, I think I'd black out on the podium. Because when I watch these people whose names I won't remember a week from now, and they're on the podium and they have tears and I start crying because I'm like, what a moment for this person. I'm getting a little nervous talking about it right now, BK.
I would shed 3 tears.
Oh.
I wouldn't be nose running crying. Not that crying. There's levels to this crying game. There's
shoulder shaking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even when the tears stop, you still like, that's when you used to get in trouble though. Your parents used to that's when you used to get beaten.
You stop.
Yes, you better stop crying.
Exactly.
Put that bottom lip.
I'm not crying.
Right, yeah. I would definitely be up there. I would cry.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. Man, I was trying to do the but then I wanted to do the Monday Night Football theme, and I just started singing Carrie Underwood, and it didn't sound good. But welcome back to the Daily Grind. You can catch all that show. Night Court, $2 Sports Show, Anthony Sane Show. That'll be today. We got No Bluff, and we got Grizz 901. Whole bunch of stuff over at bluffcitymedia.co, and Jess Benson's happening right now over at Grind City Media. Check it all out. But back to our show. Wednesdays, we draft things. Sometimes they're irrelevant. Sometimes they are relevant. Sometimes they're Grizzlies themed. Sometimes they're not. Today, football theme, baby, because it's fantasy football. You guys had your fantasy draft. I heard Rusty's team. How do you feel about your team, Uncle Buck?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be right here.
Yeah, baby.
This is the Stan Lee Cup.
Oh my God.
And it is in its rightful home on my podcast desk in Ripley, Mississippi. But yeah, I think my team was amazing. Somehow they let me draft Jalen Hurts in the 5th round. It was just, I couldn't have scripted it any better. I dominated, but that's old news. It was a great time though. And Rusty, I appreciate you shouting me out. It is something that I take way too seriously because it is awesome. So much fun.
It makes for a great league, man.
We had 10 of our 12 managers show up for the in-person draft, which was 2 less than last year. Last year we were perfect, which was amazing.
Do you know how hard it is to get 12 grown people in the same room together? It's so difficult if no one's died.
Oh, yeah. And see, it's getting a little easier, too, because Rusty was in South Carolina. But then he come home, and one of our friends, Aaron, moved to Kentucky. And so he was like, I'm coming if my wife will let me. The only hitch is my kids start their first day of school the next day. And I was like, okay, you're not coming. But it was great. We had a great time. Beer, pizza, drafting a football team. 10 out of 10.
What's your team name? Which both your teams? You're fat, no, you were Fat Thor last year.
I was Fat Drunk Thor 2 years ago. This year I am Merc with a mouthpiece.
That's right, Merc with a mouthpiece.
Yeah, so we do Marvel themes, and we're working on this is year 9, and it's gotten really hard.
Yeah.
To do continue going back to that well. And so I allowed everybody. Yeah. So we sorted our draft order based on picking our horse for the Kentucky Derby. Everybody picked their own horse. Mm-hmm. And so my wife picked out my horse for me. There's a long story. She's 2 for 2 with picking Kentucky Derby horses.
Nailed it.
She's a ringer. And so she picked Mystic Dan, who ended up going on to win the Kentucky Derby, allowing me the number 1 pick in the draft. Oh. So I told everybody, I said, since everybody's having a hard time, I've been hearing it for a couple of years now. I said, you can use your horse. Whatever horse you use, you can use your horse. So I used Mystic Dan Campbell. That's my team name after roping in the Detroit Lions head coach that everybody loves, the kneecap biter himself, Dan Campbell. So my team name is Mystic Dan Campbell, and it will be forever etched in history for the League of Avengers on this trophy.
No way. No way.
In February.
I'm picturing Dan Campbell dressed up like a shaman.
With a big old hog leg in his jaw.
Yeah. Awesome. My team name this year is I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I always do a Chicago Bears theme. For years, it was Jay Cutler themed, and I had a mine of material to pull from. Mm-hmm. We don't have as many characters right now, so right now I'm the Lucy Flusy. He's named after Eberflus, just because
I like it.
It can be better. It'll be better.
No, I like that, man. It's solid.
And that dude is. Watch Hard Knocks if you're not watching Hard Knocks. Bear down. We're gonna draft a fantasy football team today, y'all. We're gonna draft a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. No defense, no kickers, because you draft a kicker in the last round anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I like it.
Stupid. We're just going to draft them, and then we'll put the results up on. I mean, because this is stuff that actually you can measure. We can measure who's going to be. I can't wait. Like I said, quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, and flex. Running snake style, okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
I like snake style.
Got to.
Auctions confuse me. And we are changing how we do this. I've got a hat. We're going to draw names out of a hat because I'm tired of going last. I'm tired of it. Okay. All right. I will pick a name first. So first pick will be Uncle Buck. You're first.
Again. You're always first. This is the 3rd straight draft he's been first in. For fantasy football. It's freaking wild.
Guess who I'm picking?
Denzel Mims.
Son of a. All right, you go next, Rusty.
You got to get a different hat for next Wednesday.
That's my Grizzlies hat.
All right, well, I will start this off with the most slam dunk of slam dunks for the 101. There is only, I'm assuming we're doing this PPR, right? It'll matter for
PPR,
wide receivers. But
yes.
They're the most slam dunk of all slam dunks. There's only one running back in the NFL who is head and shoulders above everybody else. I typically love going receiver heavy. I love a top end receiver.
Yeah.
But there is only one player in the NFL that can raises the floor of a team as dramatically as Christian McCaffrey raises a floor. He's a home run hitter. He's a pass catching extraordinaire. Out of the backfield, he does everything, and the only thing he doesn't, the only fear is that the San Francisco turf monster gets him. But I'm going to take that risk. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey 101.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm going to go receiver 2nd overall. I'm taking Tyreek Hill. He's going to have a massive year in Miami. Give me Tyreek.
I hate you.
I had the 2nd overall pick in the family league this year. I took Tyreek Hill over the others.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, Luke, you get 2.
All right, so I'm gonna do. God, I hate you guys. Let's do. I'm gonna do Equinemius St. Brown and Justin Jefferson back to back.
There you go.
Okay. ARSB Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
And
Amon-Ra. His brother's Equinemius, right?
Yeah.
Equinemius.
Should have given you Equinemius.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Yeah.
and Jettas. I'm going to go running back here for my next pick, and I'm taking Breece Hall from the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
a good pick.
My boy. I love Breece Hall. He won me a championship last year. And so I do love that. I took a running back first here. And so I'm going to do my 2 receivers. We're doing, let me get this right. I got one running back, 2 receivers, flex, and a quarterback. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to be unanimous, or rather unanimous, who the number 1 wide receiver is across most platforms. It does make me a little nervous because of a current contract situation. Jerry Jones just does not want to pay the man.
Yep.
But CeeDee Lamb was absolutely incredible last year. He is the surefire number 1 receiver. He's going to get targets out the wazoo. And if you want a wide receiver, you want the one that's getting all the targets. Getting him at the 6th pick seems unfair, so I'll take him. So I'll take CeeDee Lamb, and I will take my favorite player of all time, the mayor of Starkville, Mississippi.
Jeez.
A.J. Brown, Arthur Brown Jr. from Starkville High School and the Ole Miss Rebels fame. Again, he is possession receiver with breakaway speed. He can catch any ball that's thrown in the general vicinity, and that's a very liberal general vicinity. I love him. I love him.
I'm
so
still
much.
mad that the Titans let him walk. I'm still very upset about that. It's like, they've been going on and on about these. Like you've seen on Twitter, like this trend where it's like, I didn't die that day, but a part of me did. And there's been several with Rabes in that war room where he's just like storming off when numbnuts let him walk. But anyway, we're gonna leave with that. My next one, I'm gonna go. I've got a couple options I can go here. I'm going to go receiver again. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. He's a phenomenal. He's the other half of LSU duo. Give me Jamar Chase from Cincinnati.
Good choice.
I like Jamar a lot.
My turn?
Yep.
It's you, bud. You got 2 picks.
Okay.
Back to back.
I'm going to do Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
And man, Atlanta has come to bite me back in the rear end, one player or the other, for multiple
Kyle
times.
Pitts.
No, God, no. Bijan.
God. Dude, I was going to take Bijan.
I've drafted Kyle Pitts for years, and that dude ain't done nothing. That dude ain't done nothing. I hate that. Don't even bring him up on this podcast.
He got drafted really early in our League of Avengers draft, and I was like, I bent over and I was like, oh, it's like, I think he went in the 5th round, and the logic was a new head coach who finds a side in, and he's got the talent. I mean, maybe.
And then I sent in our group chat for our league. It's a meme, and it was like, why would a fly land on a Venus fly trap? Rats should be ashamed for falling in this trap. Oh no, bears shouldn't step in this trap. Timmy drafted Kyle Pitts in the 1st round this year.
yes.
It's like at Zach who drafted him. But for me, I'm going flex here. This guy won me a championship 2 years ago. He kept me in contention last year. It's probably an unconventional pick, but he gets a ton of touches in a lot of different ways. It might be a stretch here for our draft purposes, but I'm going Debo at the flex because when he's healthy, there are few players more electric with the ball in their hand. Give me Debo as my flex.
Yeah, I think there's some other receivers I would have taken, but you can't argue, especially if Ayuk gets traded. I mean, you're talking about targets and backfield targets. They run him at running back.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like Debo gets more touches than just about any player.
The usage. So I've got 2 picks, and this will end my team. So I've got no quarterback's been taken off the board yet. So I'm going to just get whatever quarterback I want, and then I need a flex. So I'm going to take Josh Allen. I think he is the overwhelming favorite for quarterback. You just volume and rushing ability in the red zone. He gets 6 to 8 rushing touchdowns a year, which is ungodly for a quarterback, and it's a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
And so from then, I need a flex. So I'm looking at quarterback. Hey, I'm looking at running backs or receivers that I like. Let's see. I'm going to go with I'm going to do a dart throw here, and I did this in my league, and it's because I'm betting on him returning back to form. I think that the Miami offense is lethal. I think that they throw the ball around a lot, and they give their they've got fast dudes, and they like to get them in space. So I'm going to go Jalen Waddle, and I'm going to bet that he is an absolute home run hitter and at worst high volume across the middle slot player. I love him. You know, a lot of people think, I heard this stat, that Puka Nacua burst on the scene last year, set the rookie record for most receptions, and set it with ease. But what people forgot was the previous record holder was Jalen Waddle the year before. And so he had nagging injuries last year. I think he comes back to form. I think he's hunted in that offense. And
he's a red zone matchup nightmare. That's for sure. He's proven that before. So I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Quarterback, I'm going proven production over one really good year. Give me Lamar. I think Lamar has a massive year for Baltimore this year.
Okay. I've got my last pick now, right? Is it my last?
You got one left.
Yep. You got one more.
Jalen Hurts, quarterback.
Yeah.
That's who I ended up with in my league. I like Jalen Hurts. I especially like him in if they're going to let him. It's one thing I hated about Saquon, and I think Rusty ended up with him in the first round in our league. But Jalen Hurts got every single 1 yard, first and goal from the one rush last year. Mm-hmm. So I love that about Jalen. But you cornered the market on Philly red zone rushers there, Luke. So maybe you get both of them.
I know. I drafted Justin Jefferson, DG. I drafted him. He was my second pick, second pick. I drafted him. No worries. He's off the board.
Oh, yeah. Jettis is gone.
Yep.
Yeah. That was fun.
All right. That was fun.
Is that everybody?
I've got 5. Yeah. So I've got my team is Lamar, Breece Hall, Tyreek, Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuels.
Yeah. And I've got Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, and a trophy.
And I got that got me. I got Jalen Hurts, Saquon, not Equanimous, Amon St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, and Bijan. That's who I got. We're gonna put these up on the Twitter. Let us know who's gonna win the trophy. We know Uncle Buck's got it now, but that might spot it.
I got the best quarterback, the best running back, the best receiver.
Shut your mouth.
Man, it's a Merc with a mouthpiece, man, by a long shot.
We're gonna let.
Thank you, Daniel. Hold on.
Don't you put it? Don't you do it? God,
don't you put that on the screen? No, sir.
We will let the public decide.
We let the people decide.
Get that out of here.
Proven champions.
All right. I got to go to work.
Thank everybody for joining us, except Daniel. Everybody have a great day today at work. We'll be back tomorrow.
Love you, Daniel.
Have a good day. Have a good day at work. If you're not working, have a good day off. If I can leave you with 2 things today, remember just to be a little weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow.